The case against Rex Heuermann, the man accused of being the Long Island serial killer, that is well underway. And we've always had some suspicions and questions and just wanting some answers. What was life like in the Heuermann home? How did he do these acts, if in fact he did do them, for all these years without anyone in the house having any sort of sense that this man might in fact be the Long Island serial killer? And there's plenty of examples of that out there. Look at the children of BTK. No idea for many years. He kept it very, very under wraps. But what we're learning now, according to accusations made by attorney John Ray about Rex Heuermann's daughter, is maybe there is a little bit of the apple didn't fall that far from the tree. At least that's according to the accusations by John Ray, at least in terms of interest or art. I'm not in any way accusing Heuermann's daughter of being involved in these murders or anything of that nature. But he does raise some interesting points. In a recent press conference, he really went to town showing what he thinks might be some sort of connection to her father in a very dark way. Joining me to discuss, Robin Dreeke, retired FBI special agent, chief of the Counterintelligence Behavioral Analysis Program. We'll take a look at some of these clips here in just a second, but what was your reaction when you saw that press conference from John Ray the other day?
Cringe, cringy, no doubt, but at the same time, not too surprising. And not too surprising from the standpoint of, he's accused for having done these murders and living this lifestyle for a long time. John Ray's made other claims that, him and his wife years ago were, kind of in this weird sex swapping, just a lot of cringy things. So it's no doubt there's what I call lifestyle leakage going on inside the home. And, there's this, we're all a product of nature and nurture. And the nurture part is what we're exposed to in our parents and our guardians' lifestyle leakage. There's no question that I've been dedicated to a life of service, for serving my country. And so my wife is as well as a teacher and educator. And so my daughter's a nurse, and my son's a Marine Corps pilot, because there's been lots of lifestyle leakage. And my friends and all of us in our lives, when we walk the walk around those around us, and we do so in a way that our children want to connect with us as well at a young age, whether it's because we're not getting attention or we are getting it, whatever the reasons are, we're trying to maybe model the behaviors or at least take up the same interest or become interested in the things that our parents are interested in. And so having lifestyle leakage onto his daughter, if he's got really dark thoughts, if he's got dark actions, if he's got dark interests, and there's lots of garbage and trash, and as we've been noting, a lot of piles of really dark things around that house, there's going to be a lot of lifestyle leakage. Now, whether that's because she's actively involved or just became her interest because it's her father, that's what we don't know.
Yeah, and here's a clip from that press conference of John Ray talking about her former Tumblr account. This is about the daughter of Rex Heuermann.
The evidence that we have suggests that we've been sold a story by the Heuermann family. Take a look at the first page and the picture that's to the right. That's Victoria Heuermann as she tried to appear to the press when you first confronted her at the home in Massapequa Park. There she is in her little girl's uniform. She's 27 years old with a school bag draped over her. Her hair in a nice little bun. Very innocent looking person. The other picture is also Victoria Heuermann, as she really is, as she portrays herself on the internet, as she actually looks. We've been sold a bill of goods. If you look at her artwork, in the top page, her artwork consists that she posted online of a human skull. That's just the beginning. After the indictments, oddly enough, and you folks took the picture, you see Victoria Heuermann walking out, I believe from her house, and I thought it was odd when I saw it. But you'll notice she's wearing a shirt that depicts, right after her father is indicted, for these murdered women, it depicts a human skeleton. That's what she's wearing.
Seems like a bit of a stretch that she's somehow involved in. Now, I can understand being a very macabre person, having Rex Heuermann as your father, whether or not you were aware of what he was doing or not. But lifestyle leakage is an interesting term that you used earlier. It kind of connotates the idea that it may not have to necessarily have to have her seeing the list of women that he killed or abducted or whatever he's accused of doing, but just how someone acts throughout their life may somehow influence someone's interests.
Yeah, but I think what's important here is that, hey, it's an area for investigators to look at.
Yeah.
Let's go where the leads and the evidence bring us. But I think it's something that needs to be looked at, no doubt. And there's a difference between, because you referenced earlier BTK and his daughter. BTK did a very, very good job of bifurcating his life.
Mm-hmm.
He had serial killer BTK, and then he did actions that kept him satiated from that. So he's more in control of himself. I think he saw what he was doing as not as mainstream or as normalized behavior, maybe as Rex Heuermann, if he's indeed the guy who we all think he is, was, because Rex Heuermann seems to have evolved his entire life, at least his lifestyle at home, the way that home's been organized with the guns, with secret compartments, all these things. It's a very different way of living and interacting with your environment around you than I think BTK put forward. And again, I'm not an expert on BTK, but I just know enough, because I know how much a daughter has done to advocate for victims, because she was completely unaware of it, just because of the way her father ran his life and his serial killing job. So I think it's going to be, like I said, I think it's this lifestyle leakage that is infused itself and then normalize that behavior for them all.
Yeah.
And when when have the frog that's been boiling in a pot for so long, it's been cooking and cooking and cooking, and it has no idea it's actually been cooked. And still alive just enough to live comfortably in a boiling pot of water.
Hey, thanks for checking out the video. Be sure to follow us wherever you download podcasts, and especially Apple Podcasts, where you can get advanced episode and premium content on our premium channel right there. Also, be sure to follow us on social media so you don't miss any breaking updates on the stories that matter to you most. We're on TikTok, X, Instagram, Facebook. Just search Hidden Killers Podcast with Tony Brueski, and you'll find us right there. Again, thanks for watching.